Number 1. 1988 Jaguar XJSC T-Top, priced at $3,500, located in Santa Clarita, California. Now this is one of those classic British Grand Tourers that instantly stands out, especially in this rare XJSC T-Top configuration. Finished in an off-white exterior with a blue interior, it's got that unmistakable Jaguar elegance mixed with a slightly quirky 80s personality. Under the hood, this one still carries its original V12 engine, which is a huge highlight. When these motors are running right, they're incredibly smooth and deliver that effortless, almost turbine-like power. The seller mentions it starts up and drives, even after sitting, which is always a good sign for a classic like this. Condition-wise, it's definitely more of a project or revival car. It's been sitting in a garage and will need some attention, things like missing T-top pieces, a loose muffler, and a key that only works for the ignition. But structurally and mechanically, it seems like a solid starting point. Behind the wheel, the XJSC is all about cruising and comfort. It's not a sports car in the aggressive sense, it's more about smooth acceleration, soft suspension, and that classic luxury feel from the late 80s. With some restoration work and attention to detail, this could turn into a very unique and stylish classic that stands out from the usual muscle cars. At $3,500, this is a surprisingly affordable entry into V12 classic ownership with plenty of potential for the right enthusiast. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 2. 1993 Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.3 Sedan 4D, priced at $7,800. Located in Glendalr, California. Now this is one of those classic German sedans that quietly built a reputation for being over-engineered and incredibly durable. The 190e has that clean, boxy 90s design that's simple, classy, and still looks right at home today. Finished in red with a tan interior, this one has a really nice, timeless color combo. Under the hood, you've got the 2.3-liter inline-4 paired with an automatic transmission. It's not about raw speed, but more about smooth, consistent performance and long-term reliability. The seller mentions tons of recent maintenance, all documented, which is exactly what you want to hear with a vintage Mercedes. Condition-wise, this is a very solid driver. The interior is in great shape overall, with only minor wear on one door panel. The exterior does have a clear coat repair, so a future repaint would really take it to the next level. Mechanically, everything works except the AC, which just needs a compressor. On the road, the 190e is all about that classic Mercedes feel, tight steering, solid build quality, and a comfortable yet controlled ride. It's the kind of car you can daily drive or just enjoy on relaxed cruises. For $7,800, this is a well-maintained, mostly original example with a ton of life left in it. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 3. 1970 MGB GT, priced at $2,500. Located in Oxnard, California. Now this is a true classic British sports coupe with a ton of character. The MGB GT stands out with its sleek fastback design, giving it a more practical and refined look compared to the standard Roadster. This particular one has been modified a bit, with the bumpers removed and some custom touches that try to give it a more aggressive, almost Ferrari-inspired appearance. Under the hood, you're looking at a classic inline-4 engine, known for being simple, lightweight, and surprisingly fun to drive. It's not a powerhouse, but paired with rear-wheel drive and a lightweight body, it delivers that classic analog driving experience. Now let's be real, this one is definitely a project. The previous owner drained the fluids before storage, and it will need some work to get it fully running again. The fuel tank needs cleaning and reinstalling, and there are a few unfinished touches like wiring for the fog lights. But the good news is, a lot of the essentials are already there: new fluids, a new battery, extra parts, and overall, a mostly rust-free body. Inside, the front seats are in good shape, and there's even new material included to redo parts of the interior, which is a great bonus. Once sorted, driving an MGB GT is all about simplicity, lightweight handling, direct steering, and that classic vintage feel you just don't get in modern cars. For $2,500, this is an affordable entry into classic British motoring with a lot of upside for someone willing to put in a little work. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 4. 1973 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme S Coupe 2D, priced at $7,000. Located in Granada Hills, California. Now this is classic 70s American muscle with a bit of style and attitude. The Cutlass Supreme S has that long hood, wide stance, and smooth body lines that really define the era. Finished in yellow with a tan interior, it's got that bold, unmistakable presence that stands out anywhere you take it. Under the hood, you're likely looking at a classic Oldsmobile V8 paired with an automatic transmission, delivering the deep rumble and effortless cruising power these cars are known for. The seller mentions it runs and drives well, and more importantly, it sounds great, which is always a big part of the experience with these old-school muscle cars. Condition-wise, this one sits in that solid driver category. It does need some interior work, so it's not perfect, but the fact that it's already running and driving makes it a great starting point. The exterior presents well enough to enjoy as is while you slowly bring the interior back to life. On the road, the Cutlass is all about comfort and smooth cruising. It's not trying to be a corner carver, it's built for straight-line confidence, relaxed driving, and that classic American V8 feel. With a bit of restoration, especially inside, this could turn into a really clean and desirable cruiser. For $7,000, you're getting a solid, running classic with plenty of potential and that iconic 70s vibe. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 5. 1977 Cadillac Eldorado, priced at $27,000. Located in Worcester, Massachusetts. Now this is the definition of classic American luxury at its peak. The 1977 Eldorado represents the final era of big, bold front-wheel drive Cadillacs, and this one, finished in that stunning frost orange fire mist, absolutely screams 70s style. Pair that with the antique medium saffron leather interior, and you've got a color combo that's both unique and period correct. Under the hood, you're getting that signature Cadillac V8 experience, smooth, quiet, and effortless. This isn't about speed, it's about floating down the road in total comfort. And with just over 25,000 miles, this example has clearly been preserved extremely well. Condition-wise, this car is about as close as you can get to turnkey. The seller lists a ton of recent maintenance, new brakes, tires, belts, hoses, ignition components, even a rebuilt carburetor. Transmission service has also been completed, so it's ready to hit the road without hesitation. Inside, everything works except the clock, which honestly feels like a minor detail considering the overall condition. You still get all the classic luxury features, power everything, AM/FM with 8-track, rear defog, and more. On the road, expect that signature Cadillac ride, soft suspension, quiet cabin, and a smooth, almost floating driving experience. At $27,000, this is a near-flawless, low-mile survivor that you can just jump in and enjoy immediately. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 6. 1949 Mercury 8 two-door, priced at $33,000. Located in Atlanta, Georgia. Now this right here is a true piece of American hot rod history. The 1949 Mercury 8 is iconic in the custom car scene, especially with that low, chopped, and smoothed out look, and this one, finished in satin black with a clean white interior, absolutely nails that classic vibe. Design-wise, it's all about those long, flowing lines and that unmistakable post-war styling. This car just has presence. It's the kind of build that turns heads whether it's parked or rolling down the street. Under the hood, the seller describes an engine that idles smooth but comes alive when you get on the throttle. Paired with a 3-on-the-tree manual transmission, it delivers a very raw, engaging, and old-school driving experience that you just don't get anymore. This one has also been tastefully upgraded. It features a disc brake conversion, updated wiring with a 12-volt system, and even a period-correct Bluetooth stereo, so you get a mix of vintage style and modern usability. Condition-wise, it's a solid driver. It's been garage-kept and lightly used over the years. There are a few small dings here and there, so it's not a perfect show car, but that also means you can enjoy it without worrying too much. Or, if you want, take it to the next level with a fresh paint job. On the road, expect a classic cruising experience, low, smooth, and full of character. At $33,000, this is a stylish, well-sorted custom with real presence and history behind it. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 7. 1976 Ford Elite, priced at $12,000. Located in Pennington, New Jersey. Now this is what you'd call a true survivor from the golden era of American personal luxury coupes. The Ford Elite was designed to offer comfort, style, and a smooth cruising experience, and this particular example checks all the right boxes. Finished in yellow and reportedly all original, this car has been owned by the same person since day one. With just over 64,000 original miles and always garage kept, it's incredibly rare to find one this well preserved, especially with no rust, no dents, and no repaint. Under the hood, you've got a 400 V8 paired with an automatic transmission, delivering that classic, effortless torque and smooth highway cruising these cars were known for. And with all the recent maintenance, new radiator, carburetor, fuel system, brakes, battery, and tires, it's basically a turnkey classic ready to drive. Inside, you're getting some really cool period features like a factory tachometer, AM/FM 8 track stereo, and those rare turbine wheels that give it an extra touch of style. On the road, the Elite is all about comfort. It's not built for speed or sharp handling, it's built to glide. Smooth suspension, quiet ride, and that laid-back driving feel that defines 70s American cars. For $12,000, this is a clean, original survivor that's ready to enjoy immediately or preserve as a piece of automotive history. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 8. 1974, Plymouth Roadrunner, priced at $29,500. Located in Langley, British Columbia. Now this is a name that carries serious muscle car heritage. The Roadrunner might have evolved by the mid-70s, but it still holds onto that raw, no-nonsense attitude that made it famous. And this one, finished in green with a white interior, has a bold, unmistakable presence. Design-wise, it's got that classic long hood, short deck look, with just enough aggression to remind you it's still part of the muscle car family. Inside, the bucket seats and center console give it a more driver-focused feel, and that 4-speed pistol grip shifter is just the cherry on top, pure old-school performance vibes. Under the hood sits a big block 400 V8, and that's where this car really comes alive. Plenty of torque, a deep exhaust note, and paired with a manual transmission, it delivers a much more engaging driving experience compared to your typical cruiser. Condition-wise, it looks like a solid driver. Not over-restored, not a trailer queen, just a car you can actually get in and enjoy. That also means there's room to take it further if you want to restore or refine it over time. On the road, expect a mix of muscle and control. It's got power when you need it, but still cruises comfortably when you back off. At $29,500, this is a classic big block, for-speed muscle car with real character and strong collector appeal. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 9. 1966 Plymouth Barracuda, priced at $26,900. Located in Menifee, California. Now here's a seriously cool piece of early Mopar history. The '66 Barracuda Fastback has one of the most unique silhouettes of the era, with that massive wraparound rear glass and clean, flowing lines that really set it apart from the competition. Finished in red with a black interior, this one has that classic, timeless look. Under the hood, it's powered by the original 225 cubic inch slant 6 engine, paired with an automatic transmission. It might not be a fire-breathing V8, but these engines are known for reliability, smooth operation, and surprisingly good cruising manners. The seller mentions it runs strong, starts right up, and drives straight, exactly what you want in a classic like this. Condition-wise, this car sounds exceptionally well preserved. With just over 74,000 miles believed to be original, no rust, and strong paint, chrome, and interior, it really does feel like a time capsule. Even the original AM radio still works, which adds to that vintage charm. One of the coolest features is the fold-down rear seat, turning the back into a wagon-style cargo area, super practical and very unique for a car like this. On the road, it's all about easy cruising, light steering, smooth ride, and a relaxed driving experience that makes it perfect for weekend drives or classic car events. At $26,900, this is a clean, mostly original fastback that blends style, history, and usability in one package. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 10. 1990 Mazda MX-5 Miata Unos Roadster, right-hand drive, priced at $12,000. Located in Phoenix, Arizona. Now this is where lightweight driving fun really comes to life. The Unos Roadster, basically the Japanese market version of the Miata, has become a cult favorite, and this right-hand drive example just adds that extra layer of JDM charm. Finished in green with a tan interior, it has that classic, timeless roadster look. Small, simple, and perfectly balanced. It's not about aggressive styling, it's about purity and driving feel. Under the hood, you've got the stock 1.6-liter engine paired with a manual transmission, which is exactly how this car is meant to be enjoyed. It's not about big horsepower, it's about momentum, cornering, and connection to the road. And with upgrades like HKS coilovers and an aluminum radiator, it's already set up for better handling and reliability. Condition-wise, it's a solid driver. The seller mentions it runs and drives great, and overall it delivers that clean, classic JDM experience. There are a couple things to note: the AC will need attention, and the soft top needs replacing, but a new one is already included, which is a nice bonus. Behind the wheel, this is where the Miata shines. Light steering, perfect balance, and that open-top feeling make every drive fun even at low speeds. At $12,000, this is a unique right-hand drive roadster that's perfect as a weekend cruiser, a collector piece, or even a fun track build. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 11. 1969 Pontiac Firebird convertible priced at $32,000. Located in Mesa, Arizona. Now this is classic American muscle with the top down. The '69 Firebird is one of those cars that just looks right from every angle, and as a convertible, it takes that presence to a whole different level. Finished in blue with a black interior, it's clean, bold, and ready to turn heads. Under the hood, you've got a 400 V8 paired with a turbo 350 automatic transmission with a shift kit. So it's got plenty of power and a bit more aggressive shifting feel. Add in upgrades like the Edelbrock intake and carb, Mallory ignition, and a high-output alternator, and you're looking at a well-sorted, strong-running setup. Condition-wise, this isn't a trailer queen, it's a driver, and honestly, that's part of the appeal. A lot of mechanical work has already been done, including suspension components, brakes with drilled front rotors, power steering, and cooling system upgrades. The power convertible top is in good, usable condition, and the car overall presents really well. Inside, it's been refreshed with new seat covers and a retro-style radio with upgraded audio, keeping that classic look but adding a bit of modern usability. On the road, this thing is all about that open-air muscle car experience. Strong acceleration, smooth cruising, and that unmistakable V8 sound, especially with the wind in your hair. At $32,000, this is a solid, upgraded Firebird convertible you can actually drive and enjoy without worry. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 12. 1977 Cadillac DeVille Coupe priced at $21,000. Located in Fountain Hills, Arizona. Now this is what classic American luxury is all about. The late 70s Cadillac Coupe was built for comfort, presence, and that smooth, effortless driving experience, and this one really checks all the boxes. Finished in its original paint with matching original interior, this car has that authentic, well-preserved look that collectors love. The long body lines, wide stance, and signature Cadillac styling give it a commanding presence on the road. It's not trying to be sporty, it's all about elegance and cruising in style. Under the hood, you've got a massive 7.0-liter V8, delivering smooth, quiet power. It's not about speed here, it's about that effortless glide, where the car just floats down the road. And with decades of service records and meticulous care, this one sounds like it's been maintained exactly the way a Cadillac should be. Condition-wise, it's a true survivor. Around 60,000 original miles, one long-term owner, original build sheet, and even an upgraded modern AC system that blows ice cold. That's the perfect mix of classic originality with a touch of modern comfort. Behind the wheel, expect a soft, relaxed ride. Light steering, plush suspension, and that signature Cadillac feel, it's like driving your living room down the highway. At $21,000, this is a clean, well-preserved luxury classic that's ready to enjoy right away. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 13. 1985 Chevrolet Cavalier LS convertible priced at $3,000. Located in Peoria, Arizona. Now here's a fun little slice of 80s cruising on a budget. The Cavalier convertible isn't something you see every day, and that's exactly what makes it interesting. It's simple, it's affordable, and it brings that classic top-down driving experience without breaking the bank. Finished in red with a matching red interior, this one really leans into that vintage 80s vibe. It's not flashy in a muscle car way, but it has its own charm, lightweight, compact, and easy to enjoy. Under the hood, you've got a 2.8-liter V6 paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission. Nothing crazy in terms of power, but enough to cruise comfortably and reliably. The seller mentions it runs and drives well, which is exactly what you want at this price point. Condition-wise, with around 190,000 miles, this is definitely more of a driver than a show car. But that's not a bad thing. It means you can hop in, enjoy it, and not worry too much. Clean title, solid running condition, and a great base if you want to slowly improve it over time. On the road, expect a relaxed, easygoing experience. Drop the top, enjoy the sun, and just cruise. This is what cars like this are all about. At $3,000, this is an affordable entry into classic convertible ownership, with plenty of potential to make it your own. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 14. 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air 4-door post, priced at $28,000. Located in Phoenix, Arizona. Now this right here is one of the most iconic American classics ever built. The 57 Bel Air is instantly recognizable, and even as a 4-door post, it still carries that timeless style that made this car legendary. Finished in red with a black interior, this one has that clean, classic look that never goes out of style. The chrome, the lines, the stance, it's pure 1950s Americana. And with a restoration that reportedly took over 15 years, you can tell this car has been a true labor of love. Under the hood sits a 283 V8 paired with a turbo 350 automatic transmission, giving it a nice balance of classic feel with improved drivability. It's not just about originality, it's about making the car enjoyable to actually use. Upgrades like an electric fan and carburetor improvements help keep things reliable, especially in hotter climates. Condition-wise, this thing is in excellent shape. The interior is basically brand new, done by a professional shop, and the car has been gone through extensively with receipts to back it up. It's described as 99% original, with just a few tasteful updates to enhance usability. On the road, this is all about cruising in style. Smooth, comfortable, and full of character, it's the kind of car that turns every drive into an event. At $28,000, this is a well-restored, highly desirable classic that you can drive, show, and truly enjoy. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 15. 1949 Chevrolet Deluxe, priced at $26,500. Located in Whitman, Arizona. Now this right here is a classic that's been thoughtfully upgraded without losing its old-school charm. The 1949 Chevy Deluxe already has that smooth, rounded post-war design, but this one takes it a step further with a solid Restomod approach. Finished in Sedona bronze, originally from a 2002 GMC color palette, the paint gives this car a deep, rich look that feels both vintage and slightly modern at the same time. It's not overly flashy, but it definitely stands out in the right way. Under the hood, this thing is far from stock. It's running a Chevy 350 out of a 1989 Suburban, paired with an Edelbrock 14054 4-barrel carb and a 268 cam. That setup gives it a noticeable bump in power while still keeping things street-friendly. And with a 700R4 overdrive transmission, cruising at higher speeds becomes a lot more comfortable. The upgrades don't stop there. Up front, you've got a 75 Chevy Nova suspension, and in the rear, a 78 Camaro setup with a Posey limited slip differential. So overall, this car should feel a lot more stable and planted compared to a stock 49. Condition-wise, it's described as a clean cruiser, and with around 7,500 miles on the build, it's been driven but still well kept. This isn't a trailer queen, it's something you can actually enjoy on the road. As for restoration potential, you could take it even further cosmetically, or just leave it as is and enjoy the balance between classic looks and modern performance. At $26,500, this is a solid entry point into the classic car world with upgrades already done for you. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 16. 1972 Buick Skylark Custom Coupe 2D, priced at $12,500. Located in Tucson, Arizona. Now this is one of those builds that's all about mixing classic muscle car vibes with serious modern performance. The 72 Skylark already has that clean, understated GM design from the early 70s, and this one keeps it simple on the outside, but there's a lot going on underneath. Finished in white with a black interior, it's got that sleeper look. Nothing too flashy, just a solid driver quality paint job that looks good from a few steps back. It's not perfect, but it fits the personality of the car, something you can actually drive and enjoy without worrying too much. Under the hood is where things really wake up. This car's been swapped with a 6.0-liter LS from a 2008 Chevy 2500, paired with a 4L80E automatic transmission. You've also got a Holley Terminator ECU running the show, long tube headers, and a full 3-inch exhaust with an X-pipe. It's loud, it's aggressive, but still manageable on the highway, cruising around 2,000 revolutions per minute with no problem. Cooling and reliability have been addressed too, with an aluminum radiator, electric fans, and a transmission cooler. So this isn't just a quick build, it's something that's meant to be driven. Inside, you've got Procar Elite seats with lumbar support, some sound deadening in the roof, and a mix of original and aftermarket touches. It's not fully finished, but it's comfortable and usable, with extra parts included if you want to take it further. On the road, expect a completely different experience from a stock Skylark. More power, better response, and a much more modern driving feel while still keeping that classic body style. At $12,500, this is a seriously tempting project meets driver with a ton of potential already built in. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 17. 1950 Buick Riviera Coupe 2D, priced at $15,000. Located in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Now this right here is pure vintage cruising charm. The 1950 Buick has that unmistakable early post-war American design, big, rounded fenders, a wide stance, and just enough chrome to remind you this was a time when cars were all about presence. Finished in green over a matching green interior, this one really leans into that classic look. It's not trying to be modern or flashy. It stays true to its era, and honestly, that's what makes it special. It feels like a time capsule from the golden age of American road trips. Under the hood, you've got an inline-8 engine paired with Buick's Dynaflow automatic transmission. Now, this isn't about speed, it's about smoothness. The Dynaflow is known for delivering a super soft, almost seamless driving experience, perfect for relaxed cruising. Condition-wise, this car is described as original, and with just under 100,000 miles, it's clearly been driven but also preserved over the years. Being a Southern California and New Mexico car helps too, likely meaning less exposure to rust in harsh weather. On the road, this is the kind of car you take out on a Sunday afternoon. It's not in a hurry. It just glides. Long one out front, soft suspension, and that old-school feel that you really can't replicate in modern cars. As for restoration potential, you could go full preservation and keep it original, or slowly refresh certain areas while maintaining its authenticity. Either way, it's a great foundation. At $15,000, this is an affordable entry into true vintage luxury with tons of character. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 18. 1963 Chevrolet Biscayne, priced at $18,900. Located in Davis, California. Now this is one of those underrated full-size Chevys that doesn't always get the spotlight, but if you know, you know. The 63 Biscayne has that clean, no-nonsense design. It was the more basic trim back in the day, but today, that simplicity is exactly what makes it so cool. Finished in blue over a matching blue interior, this one really leans into that classic early 60s vibe. Straight body lines, minimal trim, and currently sitting on 5-spoke wheels, it's got that subtle muscle look without trying too hard. Under the hood, it's powered by an inline-6 paired with a PowerGlide automatic transmission. So this isn't a high-performance setup, but it's known for being simple, reliable, and easy to maintain. Perfect if you're looking for a classic you can just hop in and drive. Mechanically, it's already had some important updates. New brake master cylinder, a brand new fuel tank, fuel pump, and sending unit, so some of the key reliability items have been taken care of, which is always a big plus. The interior is described as clean, and with just around 41,000 miles on the car, it suggests this Biscayne has lived a relatively easy life. Overall, it feels like a solid, honest driver. On the road, expect a smooth, laid-back cruising experience. It's not fast, but it's comfortable, easygoing, and has that classic full-size American feel that makes every drive relaxing. As for restoration potential, this is a great blank canvas. You could keep it stock, build it into a sleeper, or even go full custom. There's a lot you can do with a platform like this. At $18,900, it's a clean, straightforward classic with tons of potential and timeless style. Alright, let's move on to the next classic. Number 19. 1965 Studebaker Cruiser Custom, priced at $7,300. Located in Sacramento, California. Now this is something you really don't see every day. A 65 Studebaker Cruiser, built right at the end of the company's run, so it already carries a bit of history with it. And honestly, that's part of the appeal here. Design-wise, it's got that clean, understated mid-60s sedan look. Finished in brown with a contrasting blue interior, it's definitely unique. Not your typical color combo, but it gives the car a lot of personality, especially for something this rare. Under the hood, things get interesting. Since Studebaker's own engine production had ended, this one came with a Canadian-built 283 Chevy V8 making around 190 horsepower, paired with a BorgWarner 3-speed automatic. That means you're getting classic looks with a drivetrain that's actually easier to maintain and upgrade. This car is also heavily optioned. Power steering, power brakes, and even factory air conditioning, which was a big deal back then. And overall, it's described as all original with just one repaint about 20 years ago. With around 68,000 miles, and the seller saying it runs and drives excellent, this feels like a solid, honest cruiser. Not a show car, but something you can get in and enjoy right away. On the road, expect a smooth, relaxed driving experience. It's not about speed. It's about comfort, rarity, and that unique feeling of driving something you won't see at every car meet. As for restoration potential, you could keep it original and preserve its history, or slowly bring it up to a higher cosmetic level. Either way, it's a rare platform with a lot of character. At $7,300, this is a seriously affordable entry into a truly uncommon classic. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Number 20. 1985 Chevrolet El Camino, priced at $15,995. Located in Orange City, Florida. Now this right here is one of the coolest blends of muscle car and pickup you can get. The El Camino has always had that unique identity, part car, part truck, and by 1985, it had a more refined, squared-off look that still feels classic today. This one is described as fast and fun to drive, and honestly, that's exactly what you want from an El Camino. It's the kind of vehicle that doesn't take itself too seriously, but still delivers a genuinely exciting driving experience. Design-wise, it's got that clean mid-80s GM styling, long front end, short bed in the back, and a stance that just looks right. It's not perfect cosmetically, it does need a bit of rust repair and fresh paint, but as it sits, it's a solid driver you can enjoy right away. Mechanically, the car is said to be solid, which is the most important part. It's even being used as a daily driver, which tells you a lot about its reliability. Whatever setup it's running, it clearly delivers enough power to make it feel lively on the road. Behind the wheel, expect something that's both practical and playful. You've got that classic rear-wheel drive feel, decent power, and the added bonus of a usable bed in the back. It's a cruiser, a hauler, and a fun weekend toy all in one. As for restoration potential, this is where things get interesting. Fix the rust, lay down a fresh coat of paint, and you could really transform this into a standout street machine. At $15,995, it's a great opportunity to own a classic El Camino that you can drive now and improve over time.